Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has presented the 2025 budget proposal of 3 trillion naira to the State House of Assembly for passage into law. Tagged Budget of Sustainability, the budget aims to address infrastructure, economic diversification, and other critical sectors in the state. And this is the Greater Lagos vision. Lagos is indeed rising. I'm your host, Love Oyedoku. Welcome. On this episode, Sanwo-Olu presents 3 trillion naira 2025 budget to Lagos Assembly. Lagos Deputy Governor endorses President Tinubu's economic vision. Details of these and many more when we return. Please stay with us.
This is Lagos, the heartbeat of Nigeria, a city steeped in rich cultural heritage and now poised to become a global financial center.
We're a lot mayor's show, and it's an opportunity for us to just depict what Lagos is all about. And it's only at an event like this, competing with other bigger cities and other nations, that you can get to tell your story. So it's storytelling time for us.
In a historic moment, Lagos made its inaugural appearance at the renowned Lord Mayor's Show in London, a testament to its growing economic prominence.
Lagos is a big mega city on its own right now. It's the largest city in Africa. It's the biggest economy that is a sub-national in Africa. But we want to make it one of the international financial centers in the world. All we're trying to do is to be able to let the world know that Lagos is indeed ready for bigger business.
Lagos isn't just open for business. It's a gateway to the future, embracing innovation and welcoming investors from around the globe. We invite the world to witness Lagos's dynamism, progress, and the myriad of opportunities available for transformative, groundbreaking projects.
Lagos is indeed ready to take over the world in the financial space, in the economic space, and to truly really be able to tell both the Lagos, the Nigerian, and the African story, and be able to let other parts of the world know who we are, understand our culture, understand that we're the center of culture, entertainment, music in the whole of Africa, and to also be able for people to know what we have to give to the world.
So the whole idea, right, is for us to be able to let the world, get them to know what is happening in Lagos. But GDP of Lagos is actually bigger than the GDP of Kenya, it's bigger than Ghana, it's bigger than Rwanda, and it's bigger than Senegal. As a little sub-national, it's very big in how it stands, in how it sits, and it's all of that conversation that we think a lot of people need to know what is happening in Lagos, and how we can use the Lagos story, to sort of like tell the African story.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has presented the 2025 budget proposal of 3 trillion naira to the State House of Assembly for passage into law. Governor Sanwo-Olu made the presentation before the House, presided over by Speaker Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa. The budget, tagged Budget of Sustainability, comprises a total revenue of 2,597,034 million naira and deficit financing of 408,902 million naira. The governor further said that his administration had proposed in the budget a total of 1.239 trillion naira, which represents 41% for recurrent expenditure, comprising total overhead, total personal cost, and recurrent debt service, while a sum of 1.766 trillion naira, representing 59%, was proposed for capital expenditure. Take a listen.
Mr. Speaker, members of the Lagos State House of Assembly, let me take us through our perfect budget performance for the year 2024 as at the third quarter. As at the third quarter of 2024, the period ending 30th September 2024, we had implemented a total of about 1.5 trillion of the 2024 budget, which represents about 85% of the prorated estimate of 1.7 trillion. Actual capital expenditure stood at 770 billion, which is about 78% of the prorated estimate of 999 billion. And the actual recurring expenditure of 653 billion represents a 93% of the prorated estimate of 701 billion. Mr. Speaker, for the 2025 budget estimates, permit me, Mr. Speaker, it is therefore my pleasure to present to you the year 2025 budget proposal, which we term the budget of sustainability. The year 2025 budget, as proposed, has a total budgetary size of 3,535,198,401 naira. 3,005,935,198,401. This budget comprises a total revenue of 2,597,034,000,000, 2,597,034,000,000, and a deficit financing of about 408,002,000,000 naira, 408,902,000,000. The total revenue comprising of internal revenue to be generated at 1,170,897,000,000 naira, and total federal transfers of 676,137,000,000 naira only. We equally propose a recurrent expenditure of 1,239,000,000,000 naira, 818,000,000, meaning 1,239,818,000,000, comprising a total overhead, total personnel cost, and recurrent debt service as follows. It has a total overhead cost of 722,586,000,000. Overhead, 432.58 billion. Subvention will be 139.728 billion. Dedicated funds will be 150.278 billion. Total personnel cost will be 392.07 billion. Recurrent debt charge will be 125.232 billion. For capital expenditure, we propose a total capital budget figure of 1,766,117 trillion. That means 1.766117 trillion. As follows: a capital expenditure of 1.452 trillion and a repayment of 313.515 billion naira. Mr. Speaker, honorable members of this House, I hereby present the highlights of the textual allocation of the 2025 budget. Under the economic affairs, a total of 908.699 billion naira is estimated. Under the environment affairs, a total of 233.176 billion. Under the health sector, a total of 204.005 billion. Under education, it's a total of 208.376 billion. Under security, safety, and public order, it's a total of 124.073 billion. And under our social protection, it is a total of 47.077 billion naira. Mr. Speaker, as you will note, the budget size is made up of a recurring expenditure of 1.239 trillion, which is about 41%, and a capital expenditure of 1.766 trillion, which is 59%, which shows that it is a 41 overhead, recurring overhead, to a 59 capital expenditure project. The debt financing, which is within our fiscal sustainability parameters, we shall continue to live within those parameters, which consist of both external and internal loans and bonds. As I conclude, Mr. Speaker, honorable members of the House, let me assure you that this budget is not just a statement of intention, but it's a practical, actionable framework that is designed to impact the life of the citizens of Lagos, from the students and the entrepreneurs in Yaba to the farmers and fishermen in Ekwe and Badagry, from the business executive and market women on Lagos Island to the factory workers in Ikorodu. This budget is all about the people of Lagos and Lagos alone. As we prepare for the approval and implementation of this budget, I urge every of us to play their part in building a Lagos that endures. Let us remember that sustainability is not just about preserving resources, it is also about creating opportunity for the future while meeting the needs of the present. The development of any megacity like ours is a responsibility of both the public and the private sector. And to this end, we will continue to explore public-private partnership strategies in the provision of infrastructure, in the provision of social services, and in the conversion of the challenges to opportunities within the context of the scarce resources available. This government is indeed very grateful to members of the organized private sector who have always heeded our call for partnership and show great and uncommon civic engagement with our government. I appreciate the efforts and the contribution of our public service, all the workers in our various ministries, departments, and agencies, for identifying the projections of our vision while working very hard to achieve our administration set objectives. I remain ever grateful to the Speaker and members of this Hallowed Chamber for your consistent support, assurances, patience, and cooperation at all times. To the leadership and the teaming members of our party, the All Progressive Congress, especially in Lagos, I want to thank you for your support.
Lagos State Deputy Governor Obafemi Hamzat has expressed optimism about the economic vision laid out by President Bola Tinubu, particularly the ambitious goal of achieving a $1 trillion economy for Nigeria. The Deputy Governor, who stated this during a media chat in Lagos, emphasized that this target is not just an aspirational figure, but a necessary step for the nation's prosperity. The session was indeed strategic and interactive, with men of the Fourth Estate of the realm. Drawn from selected media houses in Lagos, the journalists were given a rundown of ongoing activities and initiatives of office of political, legislative, and civic engagement, and the impact so far.
Ilera Eko, not everybody knows that Ilera Eko is real. And I'm using this medium to let you know that Ilera Eko is real in Lagos State. It's not just on the mouth. It is something that is really happening, and it is something that everybody in Lagos State should key into. The vulnerable, they should key into it. So that with 15,000 naira a year, you can access health services worth of millions of naira. Let me tell you an example of what happened to me. There's this gentleman. He came to my office that he has hernia, that I should come and help him to do the surgery. I said, me, where will I get? They gave him 400,000 bill. I said, where will I get 400,000 bill? You know what I did? I just put a call through to the executive secretary of that office. And he said, doctor, we can help you now. Let that man register. I said, how much will it take you to register? He said, 8,500. That was when it was 8,500. And immediately I sent the money to him. We came back. And within 2-3 weeks, the card came out. I called the guy. I said, look, go to that hospital. Luckily, I have a doctor daughter that works in that hospital. I said, go to her. And I'm telling you, 600,000 ailment was cured by 8,500 naira.
The special advisor, Dr. Afolabi Tajudeen, by acknowledging the challenges that the fuel subsidy removal has posed for many citizens, used the forum to assure the public that the Lagos State government is fully aware of the hardships faced by the residents.
I want to reiterate that this government is committed to cushioning the effect of the fuel subsidy removal, especially on every resident of Lagos State. The government will not relent in its effort to bring relief to residents of Lagos State and also maintain peaceful and harmonious working relationship with all stakeholders in the state towards achieving the greater Lagos rising vision of this administration. The Office of Political is sincerely dedicated to working hard to ensure it delivers on its mandate. We are totally committed to promoting inclusive governance through engagement, encouraging participation of the people in civic activities, and democratic process, community building, and peaceful cohabitation among the residents of Lagos State.
Delivering his keynote address, the Deputy Governor pointed to the strategic policies introduced by the President as crucial to achieving this economic growth. The Deputy Governor also noted the importance of digital transformation, technological advancements, and financial literacy as key components in building a sustainable and resilient economy.
Most companies don't want you to come to offices anymore. This generation, they don't even like to go to the offices. They have to go and do what? So they get the project, they do it, they send it back. They just email it back. And they do the coding in their room, they get $20,000, $30,000, and another is coming. So a lot of people will be, so we cannot be looking at how do we promote those a lot more. And that's the challenge. So that's why you see the development plan of Lagos, our new 30-year plan, is to make Lagos the woman-centric capital of the world. We have these young people. How do we develop them so that if Microsoft say, I need 50,000 coders, we can get it from Lagos? So the challenge, how do we get it? How do we do that? And that is the future of money, like I was saying. How do we make sure that, so that's why Lagos State, we are building that new University of Medicine. Because we cannot complain that JAPA is not new. It's not. When I was in UI between 81 and 86. Almost all our doc professors in medicine went to Saudi Arabia in 82, 83. That's the fact. Almost all of them. But they bring up another set. The university didn't collapse. They left because they were making more money. Nigerians built Saudi Arabia medical system, no question. So we've been Jakpa now. And some of them will come back. Who built the health system of UK? Is it not Indians? So, but the question is, the pipeline of training must improve. So if we are training, let's say 10,000 a year or 2,000, let's increase it to 20,000. Train more doctors, train more nurses, train more pharmacists, that's all. Let them japa. They bring cash back, they come back later. It's good for us.
With sights on such ambitious goal of a $1 trillion economy, leaders like Hamzat believe that both government initiatives and individual efforts in shaping the future of the youth are essential in realizing this vision.
Before now, the Permanent Secretary for Primary Health Care Board is just one. But what we've realized is that just like we broke up the schools into districts, so we broke in the And what we are finding out is there are these anti-vaccine ambassadors out there that are, and this seems to be well coordinated. This seems to be, and I think it's based on religion or whatever it is, that are going around to preach against vaccines. And I think they are doing that maybe because of this COVID-19, because of the virus. But we must all understand as a people that COVID-19 was shutting down the world. And therefore, the vaccine was a bit faster than other vaccines. Most vaccines take 9, 10 years for this to mature, for test this, test that, test this. But apparently, the world cannot wait for that regarding COVID-19 because people are just dying. And it's changing the shape and whatever of humanity. So a lot of vaccines that we are doing to protect our children, so there's all this anti, and we need to let people be engaged, understand the science, that these vaccines are safe. And vaccines have been used around the world. And so because we've decentralized, so we are getting to more people, and we are seeing those resistance, and I think we need to engage with the public to let them understand that our vaccines are safe. These vaccines are safe. They are tested and everything before we use them. Because as the scientists have told us, some of these zoonotic viruses is not a question of if, it's a question of when. Another one will come. Because we are interacting more with animals, and these animals have, like they said, 100 and something thousand vaccines. And there's only 18,000 that we know as human beings. So the remaining 90-something thousand that we don't know will come because we are interacting with them much more. And therefore, we must be ready so that if not, so that we don't see the end of humanity because of virus. So we cannot then be a people that are against science. We cannot be against science. Make sure that we don't do. So the essence for us is to make sure that we communicate more among ourselves, what we are doing. How do we inform the populace? And for me, I'm a very optimistic person. People might say, why? Because for me, I think that as a people, we elevate our negatives a bit much. That's my personal feeling, that we elevate it. Because think about it. A lot of people tell us that, our education system is bad, the student, okay. Oh, is that true? I don't think so. Is that true? So they tell us that education, but they are recruiting our teachers to come and teach in England.
The session wasn't one-sided, but truly engaging. Ample time was allotted to us to ask questions, give feedbacks on happenings within and around Lagos State. We took the Deputy Governor on various issues begging for answers, from roads constructions to health issues, education, traffic control by LASTMA, etc.
A lot of people dressed in uniform, and then they just dress up early in the morning, they just go out and hanging around and looking for people to act. These are young men, properly dressed, energetic, but are not doing what they are sent out there to do.
These yellow buses, when you go to traffic light and traffic light stops them, they beat the traffic. And God saves you. If you claim the right of way, those people don't obey traffic law. Is it a different law for them in Lagos State?
Fagba in particular, there are lots of alternative routes in that area that public transport used to get to Abule-Egba, to get to Fagba, and the roads are not motorable. I think that the Lagos State government should look into that area and get it fixed or do something for the people in that area.
At the end, journalists were better informed on how the Lagos State government is working hard to ensure it delivers on its mandate to residents. That's all we have for you on this episode of the Greater Lagos Vision on Plus TV Africa. I'm your host, Love Ikuku Oyedoku. Bye for now.